Good afternoon, everyone.
What are the top three?
Everyone able to hear me? Hello? Is everyone able to hear me? Yeah, just I'm waiting for others to join. Okay. So let us start. So now I'll share my screen. So yesterday we have seen the test case for get all students, right? Similarly, we'll write create student quickly. So here what I'll do. Here I'll say again, the same thing you can copy here. So PSTMT is equal to connection dot prepare statement insert into student values. What are the, how many values are there? 1, 2, 3, 4. So 4 values. 1, 2, 3, 4. Right? 4 values. Then I'll say PSTMT dot set string of 1 comma student dot get student ID. But this will be integer actually. Next is, can you see my screen right, everyone? Everyone is able to see my screen right? Okay, you are not able to chart. Just 1 minute. I will ask the admin to give the chart access. I just now asked admin to give the yeah, now I think you are able to access. Yes. Everyone is able to access chart, right? Yes. Okay, I'm doing this PSTM dot. So this will be 2 dot get student first name. No, first name. This will be set string. Next, another one will be 3 last. Next is email. Okay. So what I'll do, catch exception ex.print address, and here I'll say pstmt dot execute update. Okay, this is the one, and this returns the number of records, int count. So I'll just say count. So that means whenever one record get executed, the count will be 1 actually. Return count. Okay, that's all. And here I can just copy paste this finally block. I have to catch all this, right? Close all this. Okay. So this is for create student. Next, I'll also write at a time this also get student of I pass student by ID. If I pass ID, I'll get only one record. So copy paste this, copy paste all this. Here I'm not returning only one record. If I pass the primary key, I will return only one record where ID equal to question mark. Then I'll say I'll take this one. Okay. And this will be ID. Okay. You don't need while actually, because only one record will be written. We are sure that only it will be one record. Because I'm passing ID right here. When I pass the primary key, we know that there will be only one record, one student with that ID value. That's why I'm not returning this one. Okay. You don't need this also. So here what I do is, here I copy this. You don't need this also. That's all. Source, correct indentation. Now you see. Yeah. Please ask the question. You type the question. Okay. Might be I did not get your questions from the past 4 days. Okay, so I have written this method. I have written this method. Now, fine, right? In my service class also, you just write these methods. See, student DAO, return student DAO dot create student of student. Then I'll say return student DAO dot get student by ID of ID. That's all. That's all. Now, I have tried the test cases for the service class and the DAO class, just like how I have written the test class for this. For this also, we can let us complete this, so that we'll get a full-fledged program. Yesterday I have written this, right? What is use of correct indentation? Huh? The use of correct indentation, you'll get a neat format like this. See, under this method, otherwise what will happen is it will be like this, some zigzag you will be having. Okay, I have written now this test method for yesterday's class, right? For get all students. For this get all students, I have written. Now we'll write the test case methods for create student and get student by ID also for both service and DAO class. As I was telling you, service class will create the real object, DAO class mock object. So already we have done this, right? Yesterday we have done this. Okay, now we'll write one more test method. Okay. Now I'll say, okay, test create student. Okay, test create student. So what I'll do is, we know that I'll create some student here. Student is equal to, I'll just pass some test data. Okay. student dot set student ID, something like 100. Student dot set first name, something like Rajesh. Student dot set last name, Rajesh Kumar. Student dot set email, rajesh@test.com. Okay. This now what I'll do, I'll create a behavior now. When student DAO dot create student of, I pass the student, then return 1. So this is the behavior I'm creating for the, because it's a mock object, right? Student DAO is a mock object. For mock object, we have to create the behavior because it will not call the actual logic. This will call whenever mock object is called, this logic gets executed. And why I'm returning 1? Because if you see in the original method also, create student, if the record is inserted successfully, I am returning 1. Count is 1 because prepare statement dot execute update will return 1. If 1 record got inserted, it will return 1. So here also we have to simulate the same behavior. When I'm creating the student record, it will be written 1. That means 1 record got inserted. So the result is 1, which means 1 record got inserted. Okay. So this is the behavior, mock object behavior. So this is the mock object behavior. Now what I'll do, I'll call the actual, that is service method. So student service dot create student of student. And here also I'll get count, actual count. Okay. And what will be my expected count? Expected count is also 1 because when I pass student object, I will get expected count as 1 record. Expected count is equal to 1. So now what I'll do, asset equals of expected count comma actual count. That's all. Okay. This when I was explaining from last 4 to 5 days actually. So this is the behavior. Okay, this is the behavior of the mock object. So now what will happen now? When this test method get executed, so when the test method gets executed, what will happen now? So this will be your mock object. This will be your mock object. Okay, this will be your mock object. Okay, this will be your mock object. Okay. Now we are defining the behavior for this. Now this mock object is injected into the real object. This is your real object. So whenever I call, this is your real object. So this is your service class is a real object. Now what will happen now? When the real object method is called, this will go to the actual method. What is the actual method? This one. And now it will call this method. Now it will go inside. Now this will be your mock object, right? Because mock object is injected into the real objects. So when mock object method is called, what is written? This one. When mock object method is called, this value will return. It will not go to, see, this is a mock object. So this is a mock object. When mock object method is, when method on the mock object is called, it will not go to the this method. It will not go to this. It will not go to this. It will not go to this method. It will not go. Okay. So when this is called, this behavior is called actually. This behavior. What is this behavior? The result is 1, right? So when this is called, the result is 1. That means this method returns, see, return. That means this, the result of this method is 1. Okay, that's all. Now, what is your actual count? Your actual count is 1. Whatever we are returning here, that will be your actual count. Your expected count is also 1. So asset equals expected count actually. So let me run this test case. Now you see, here I'll put just system.out.println in student service. Next, in student DA also we'll put system.out.println. In student DA. Now, if I run this test code, you see, run as properties. Run as JUnit test. Now see, both are passed. You see, it is calling the service method. When this test method is called, it is calling the service method. When this test method is called, it is calling service, but it's not calling the DAO method. It is not printing this, or it is not printing this. Because it's not calling the DAO method. Because why? DAO is a mock object. DAO is a mock object. That is this one. That's why. So whenever inside this is a mock object, when the method on the mock object is called, this behavior gets called, and the return value will be the result of this method. Okay. So like that, can we test for other also quickly? This method get student by ID, so that the program will be completed. Get student by ID. So here what I'll do is, here also just I'll pass. Now, let me do like this. So if I get the students, let me get string ID is 100. Expected student. If I pass, okay, student by ID, right? 1 minute. I pass ID value, some ID value. 1 minute. Huh? Int expected result or string expected first name is equal to Rajesh. Okay. Now what I'll do is, I'll say student. Student is equal to new student. Now student dot set student ID is 100. Student dot set first name is Rajesh. Student dot set last name is Kumar, Rajesh Kumar. Student dot set email is rajesh@test.com. And what I'll say is student service, or I'll just I'll define the behavior when student DAO dot get student by ID. If I pass 100 value, dot then return student value. If I pass ID value 100, I'll get only one object, one student object. Okay. If I pass 100 value, I get only one student object. Okay. Yeah, in test create student. See, this is your real method. This is your real object method. Fine. So this is your mock object. So this is your mock object. That's why I'm defining the behavior. When student DAO dot get student by ID, if I pass 100, I'll get the student object. Now I'll pass the real column. Student service dot get student by ID. I'll pass 100. I'll pass 100 and I'll get student object. Student STD also. This is your original actual student object. Now what I'll say, asset equals, what is my expected first name? Rajesh. And what is my actual first name? STD dot get to first name. That's all. So this is how we'll test this method. See what I'm doing here, you see? Now what I'm doing here, you see? Okay, this is your mock object and this is your actual. So this is your real object. Service will be a real object. So what will happen now? Whenever I call this get student by ID. So this real method logic is executed. That means this method will be called. But again, this will be mock object, right? So mock object method, if you call, it will call the behavior. It will call this behavior. That means it will return the student object. This object, whatever you define here, this object. Because this is a mock object call. Mock object method call. So what will happen now? This mock object method call will actually execute this behavior. That means it will return this, then return means, so the result of this method will be this student object. That means this will be returned from the service class. So this STD will be this object. Whatever I'm returning is same as this. Now STD.get first name is what? Rajesh. And what is my expected first name? Rajesh. So both are same. Everyone understood? So this is your complete test case program. You can also write method for delete also. Okay. I'll share this program to everyone. You just write this. No, test classes. These are test data, right? Test data will define statically only. Test data. These are all test case data. We don't define dynamically. Test data always defines statically. You have to remember, if you have to remember the mock behavior and the actual call. Now you see, we have to see one more important topic in this test cases is coverage. Coverage. What is code coverage? Code coverage is the code that is covered as part of testing. The code that is covered as part of testing. Now you see, if I go right click on this, in the Eclipse, you see coverage as, there is an option called coverage as. Select this JUnit test. See, coverage as JUnit test. Now you see, this color, this green color indicates the code is covered. And in DAO class, this red color indicates no code is covered. You see, this green color indicates, and you can see coverage is 40.4%. Okay, so what you have to do? So right click on this, click on coverage as, right click on the test.java, right click on this, click on coverage as JUnit test. When you click on that, see this green color indicates the code is under testing. It is covered under testing. That's all right. See, your service class is a real class, right? Is a real. So in the tested code, if you see, this is your real object and this is your mock object. Okay, this is your real object, and this student service is a real object, and student DO is a mock object. So whatever you call the method on the real object, that code will be covered. That code will be covered. But whatever you call on the mock object, DO is a mock object, that method code will not be called. You see, that's why for get all students in student DAO, see, these are all, see, DAO class, no method is covered actually, you see. Because this is not the real, because DAO we are dealing with the mock object, right? DAO we are dealing with the mock object. This original code is not covered under testing. We are not testing this code. How we are testing then? We are simulating the behavior like this and testing. So our DAO class code we are not testing the actual code. Why? Because all these are database operations. We don't want to test the original code with the database operations. Okay. Why means unnecessarily some test data might be deleted or inserted. That's why what we have done, we have created the behavior like this and tested. That is the reason code coverage, if you see in code coverage, all the methods in the service got covered because this is the real service, but none of the methods. That's why you see the color. This is a red color, which indicates that code is not covered. But in the service class, all the methods are covered. That's why the color indicates green color. So this is what code coverage. So the green color indicates this code is tested, and the red color indicates this code is not tested. That is correct only, right? We did not tested this code. Why? Because we created the mock object of this and created a behavior like this, a simulated behavior like this. We did not tested the original code of the DAO class. So that is the reason this is showing red color. Everyone understood? So with this, we completed JUnit and mock it up. With this, we completed the first two tools. Everyone understood till now? JUnit and Mockito. Okay. I'll share this code also to everyone. Now, we will see the third tool, and tomorrow we'll continue that, which is Maven. So JUnit and Mockito we are done. So we'll see the third. What is the requirement of student service classes? The requirement is student service class should have methods that calls a student DAO class. Okay. Now we'll see the next tool, which is called Maven. What is Maven? Okay. So I'll explain. See, whatever the JUnit test we have written, these are all Maven projects. We created a Maven project and all that. And I'll tell you that I told you that we'll go Maven separately in depth of this. We'll tell you. Okay. See, for example, I'll tell you one simple scenario. I'm developing a project with the 20 Java files. Okay, and all these Java files are stored in some directory. Now, what I have to do, I have to compile the Java files. Each Java file I have to compile. Or if they're in one package, I can just compile all at once. And these Java files, after compilation, will be converted to, or these Java files, we can say from these Java files, after compilations, dot class files are generated. Compile the Java files. From these Java files, after compilation, dot class files are generated. Okay. Dot class files are generated. So compile the Java files. From these Java files, after compilation, dot class files are generated. Now what we do, we package all these dot class files to a jar file. So how we'll compile? We use commands like javac. Okay, javac, some a.java or something like that will compile. And this a.java will be converted to dot class. A.class gets generated. Like that, if you compile multiple files, you'll get dot class files. Now, how to bundle these dot class files to a jar file? I'll say jar minus cvf star dot class. All class files will be bundled. All will be bundled to a jar file. Okay. And remember, your Java files also will be using some third-party libraries. Third-party libraries like Spring. Okay, so like Spring or Excel libraries, something like this. Some third-party libraries or logging libraries. And all are present, and all libraries you should actually bundle in this jar, or along with this jar, you should move all these libraries. All these libraries are also jar files. You should, all the jar files should copy to the server. You should copy to the server. And now this server will contain this jar file and all the third-party libraries. You should copy that to server. And imagine that if you want to do all these things, it is not easy. As see, for 20 files or that in your real-time projects, you'll be having multiple files where you have to compile them, bundle them to jar files. If there are any third-party libraries, you have to download those and set up these libraries also in the class path, copy all these to your server, which is actually very tedious process. To make this process easy, we have build tools like Maven. Which makes process easy, the above process easy. Okay. Now you see. And there is one more tool called Gradle, which I'm going to explain. But our focus now is on Maven. So what Maven will do is, see, Maven is actually part of Apache Maven. And we call this as a build tool. And if anyone asks what is Apache Maven, you can tell that it is a build tool. Okay, if I just google.com Apache Maven. Now you see maven.apache.org. You can see this Maven documentation, all that. And we'll see very important things that are required for our real time, and all we'll see. Okay, you can download Maven here. If you go to your download, here you can download for your Windows system. Binary. This is your binary file. You can download this. I'll just share you this. I just shared it. Okay, this is how you can download the Maven. This is the file. Once you download and extract, and you set, let me show you. Let me click on properties. Okay. Once you download and set in the environment properties in the path like this, your Apache Maven path, Apache Maven till your bin folder, if you set the path like this, and you have to set this in environment variables, then once you come here and type mvn, this is a Maven command actually, Maven command. Okay, so you can see that. Okay, in IDE, when if you use Eclipse like IDEs, already Maven is built here. Okay, if you see, right click on this, you can see Maven is built here. But the thing is, you should have in your command prompt also, because whenever you want to write some script files, automations, your IDE will be used only till the development part. But you have to come outside, build this project, build the jar, copy this to some other server, and all that you have to write the script files. For that, you should have these commands. You should have the Maven get installed in your system also. Whatever you use in IDE is only for development purpose. But always Maven should be there in your system so that you can write scripts to build automatically. Okay, and copy that to some other server like that. So when I say Maven, it is not recognized. Why? Maven is not recognized in my system. Okay. What I'll do is, I think I have to change this part. Let me download this. Because I moved this folder to different. Now what I'll do, Control X, I'll copy Maven here. No, I understand. In IDE also you can generate jar var form. See, the thing is, always you should set up that in your system so that you can write a bat file. You can write a shells file. What happens if you are doing in Unix operating system? In Unix operating system, you can't have IDE, right? So what you have to do, there you can install Maven there in Unix Linux operating system. You can write a build script to build all your code actually and all that, right? So that is the reason I'm telling to set up Maven in your system. In IDE also I can do, right? See, I'm showing you this. I can do. So run as Maven clean install I can do. But this is only for your development purpose. You cannot do this every time for your production. How DevOps team is doing? How DevOps team, they're writing the build scripts. They will install the Maven in their Linux operating system. And they write the scripts to process that build. That's what I'm telling you actually. Okay. So let me copy this folder. I'll delete this. I'll just copy this to the edit. I'll copy only this part. Okay. Click on OK. 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 So command prompt. Okay, MVN. Now see, when you type MVN, you are getting this some message. That means Maven is set up in your system properly. Okay. Now you see, Maven is a build tool. And what are the important tasks that Maven does? Maven does. First one is building the source code. Building the source code. That means Maven comes up with templates like Maven archetype, quick start, Okay. Then Maven archetype web app. Okay. So this will be Maven comes up with templates like Maven archetype, quick start, Maven archetype web app. So quick start is a basic code structure. Okay. Okay, for standalone Java programs. So Maven archetype is basic code structure for web applications. So it means if you use these templates, you'll get a basic code structure. Maven will generate a basic code structure for you. Okay. How it will generate, we'll see. See, from Eclipse also, that's what I was showing you actually. Whenever I created these projects, see, file, new, Maven project. If I click on this next, you see these are the types, archetype quick start. And there is one more called web app actually. This will create default web application. So when I say quick start, it will create a basic code structure. See, when I'll create one code structure. I'll select quick start, click on next. I'll give this group ID artifact. I'll tell you what is this group ID and all that. Just I'll say test demo. I'll tell you what is this group ID and all that, artifact ID and all that. Test demo like this. I click on finish. See, when I click on finish, you see your Maven is generating a basic code structure for you. See the folder structure and everything. See the package, and it has created one hello world program also. I mean, it has generated one hello world program also. Okay, it has created a basic structure like this. If you see the basic structure, source folder is created. Under source folder, main and test are created. Okay, source folder is created. Folder is created. Under source, main folder is created. Okay. And again, under source only, test folder is created. Okay, under main folder, you see Java folder is created. Under main folder, I'll remove this. Under source main, under test, under main Java. Under Java, you have the package structure. The package structure, you have the package. Under packages, you have the .java file. Now basic Java file has been created with a hello world. Now in this same package or in different, you can create new package here itself, and you can start writing your own files. But a basic project structure is created. Similar in the test also, you see under test also there will be Java packages. Next .java files. Under source, and these .java files are your source code files. All source code files. And these .java files will be all test files. So this is the basic structure. Your Maven templates. Similarly, if you use actually archetype web app also, you'll get a basic code structure for web applications. Like your web.inf folder. Inside that, you'll have web.xml and all that. So like that, Maven is used to build the source code, a default source code. And on top of this project structure, we can write our own classes, our own packages. We can create our own packages. packages, and classes, and Java files. Similarly, if you see under src main Java, and similarly, if you see source folder is created. Okay. First a project folder is created. First a project, this project under source. Project is created under project source. And under source, these all will be present. Okay. Now, under project only, there will be one more file created, which is called pom.xml. Okay, this is pom.xml. And I'll be explaining what is this pom.xml and all that. This file is very important for Maven for all executions. I'll tell you what we define in this pom. Already we have seen in the JUnit test code when we are writing. I showed you, but I told you that I'll explain you what is this. Here I told you that what is this dependencies, what are this. I'll tell you. I told you, right? Now we are going to see in depth of this. So this is the basic project structure. Okay. Next, what is the other use of Maven is the important that Maven does. This is the first one. Second one is, so Maven packages the, okay, Maven compiles the code, the job files, okay, download the required libraries or dependencies specified in the pom.xml. Okay. And all the compiled .class files will be packaged to, and Maven packages all compiled .class files to jar file. Okay. So this is the second step. Next, what is another thing Maven does is handles versioning and releases of the artifacts. I'll tell you what is this artifacts and all that. Okay, artifact is nothing but I told you that Maven compiles the .class files, packages all compiled .class files along with third-party libraries to jar file. And this jar file, whatever we call, this is an artifact actually. This jar file, whatever we call, this is okay. Okay, all this is we can call this as final artifact. Final artifact handles versioning and releases of the artifacts. That means what will happen is, suppose I have one project, I have built the project, then that project Maven has made that as one jar file, one final artifact. Now there are some changes happening to the project. Now Maven will make this project as a different version. Okay, so that means I'll tell you in detail tomorrow. Now it is already 3:05 p.m. right? I'll tell you this. So for now you can think like these are the steps. tomorrow I'm going to explain in depth of Maven. Okay, don't miss these sessions. Very, very important. I'll be covering all the Maven topics. I'll be covering Maven topics, what Maven is going to do, in depth of all these Maven things I'll tell you. Okay. So tomorrow I'm going to tell all these actually. Okay. Similarly, there are some more points also I'll tell you. Okay, tomorrow I'm going to tell in depth of all this. All right then. Then any doubts in the J unit and Mockito? J unit and Mockito, any doubts? These two are completed. So now we are started this. So tomorrow onwards we'll see Maven. Okay, I'll upload all these notes in the classroom, Google Classroom. No, I'll upload the. Yeah, thank you all.